Hello viewers, welcome to UN College Digital class. In this class I am going to discuss about introduction to linked list. Already in the previous session I have discussed about stack and queue concept. In this class also I will only discuss about the introductory part of linked list, like what is linked list, what are the different types of linked list, and what are the different application of linked list. If you want to know in detail, then you may refer to our data structure class of our YouTube channel. Let's start introduction to linked list. Now we will start discussion what is the meaning of a linked list. A linked list is a linear data structure in which the elements are not stored at contiguous memory location. Actually, linked list is very similar to array, but the difference is that array implements static memory allocation, whereas in linked list dynamic memory allocation is used, and that's why it is more effective one. And the second difference is that in array all the location or the elements are present in a contiguous memory location, which is not in case of linked list. Okay, the elements in a linked list are linked using pointer. Now we will discuss about what is the meaning of node. Linked list consists of group of nodes in a sequence. What is the meaning of node? The node is one entity in the linked list. Each node holds its own data and the address of next node, hence forming a chain-like structure. Okay. In simple word, a linked list consists of nodes where each node contains a data field and a reference or a link to the next node in the list. And here the reference meaning is that it is a pointer. The data part is used to store the element and the next part is used to store the address of the next node. The first node is always used as a reference to traverse the list and it is called as head. The last node always points to null. Actually, in the linked list, the first node is very much essential because whatever operation you will start in case of single linked list, okay, you will start from the first node, and the first node is generally called as head, and one pointer is used to store the address of the first node. You may use the name of pointer in any ways, no problem, but programmer prefer to use root as the name of the pointer. And the last node address part always contains null, okay, because there is no more node after the last node, that's why. Now we will discuss exactly what is the structure of a node. The linked list consists of number of nodes and each node consists of a data item and an address of another node. If we will wrap both the data item and next node reference in a structure, then the structure of the node will be struct node, int data, struct node, pointer next. Here I have used int data. Instead of int data, you may use character, you may use float, no problem. But it is only a matter to concern that one node consists of two parts, one data part and another one is address part. Here I have represented the node of a linked list in a diagrammatic manner. The node consists of two parts, already we have discussed on that. The data part and another one is address part. The address part, here I have used the term next to refer the address part. The address part is a pointer exactly, and it is the responsibility of the address part to store the address of the next node. In the data part you may enter integer, character, float, any sort of data as per your requirement. There must be minimum one data. You may enter also multiple data. Now we will discuss about the diagrammatic representation of a linked list. Okay, in this diagram it is clearly visible that there are three nodes. Here node 1 stores the address of node 2 and node 2 stores the address of node 3. Suppose after node 3, after the creation of node 3, we don't want to create any other node, then in that case the node 3 address part will contain null. It is a very simple diagrammatic representation of single linked list. Okay. Now we will discuss one more example of creation of linked list. Suppose you want to create a linked list. Let at the data part you have entered A, and when you are creating a linked list, the first node is very much essential, and generally it is represented as head. Okay, and whatever operation you want to perform on linked list, that will be started from head. Then when you want to create another node, at that time what you will do, you will create a node and you will store the address of the second node with the first node address part. And similarly, suppose you want to create another node, and in that case you will create the node and you will store the address of third node at the address part of second node. And suppose you want to create one more node, in that case what you will do, you will create a node and you will store the address of the fourth node with the address part of third node. And suppose you don't want to create any more node, in that case what you will do, you will store, or the fourth node address part will contain null value. Now we will discuss what are the different types of linked list. There are three common types of linked list. Those are single linked list, doubly linked list and circular linked list. Now I am going to discuss at introductory level about these three different types of linked list. Okay, already what we have discussed in a diagrammatic representation, all those refer to single linked list, but still again I have used one diagram of single linked list. Here it is clearly visible that the first node is called as head and the last node address part is containing null, and whatever operation you want to perform on single linked list, the operation will start from head and it will continue up to null. Okay. Now we will discuss what is the meaning of doubly linked list. In case of doubly linked list, we add a pointer to the previous node in a doubly linked list. Thus we can go in either direction, forward or backward. Its meaning is that in case of single linked list, the node consists of one address part and the address contains the address of next node. But in case of doubly linked list, the node consists of two address part. One address is called as previous, another address is called as next. The previous address is pointing to the previous node and next address part is pointing to the next node. And in this way we can move both forward and backward direction. This is a diagrammatic representation of doubly linked list. Here it is clearly visible. You can see here that each node consists of three parts here, two pointer and one data. The two pointers are, first one is previous, next one is next, or second one is next. The previous is pointing to the previous node and the next pointing to the next node in this way. Here we will discuss about one important aspect related to doubly linked list. In case of doubly linked list, the first node previous pointer part contains null value and last node next pointer part contains null value. Now we will discuss about circular linked list. Okay, it is totally different from single linked list and double linked list. A circular linked list is a variation of a linked list in which the last element is linked to the first element. This forms a circular loop. Here I have used in a diagrammatic representation of circular linked list. Here you can see it. The diagram consists of three nodes. Okay, the first node, as we know, that is represented as head. Here the first node consists of data and next part, and the next part is pointing to the next node. Similarly, the second node next part is pointing to the third node, but the third node next part here contains the first node address part. Okay, or we may say that the third node is linked with the first node. Okay, but in case of singly and doubly linked list, the last node address part contains null value. It is the difference in between singly, doubly and circular linked list. Okay. Now we will discuss some basic operation on linked list. Those are, first one is traversal. What is the meaning of traversal? To traverse all nodes one after another. In traversal, what you will do? You will just move from the first location, which is represented as head or root, and you will move one by one, and you will reach at the last location, which contains null value at its next pointer. Okay. And the second one is insertion. What is the meaning of insertion? You want to put a new node in the existing linked list. Okay. You may place the new node at the starting location, at the end location, or in between any location in the linked list, and for that there are different logics are used. If you want to know in detail, then you may refer to our data structure class of our YouTube channel. The next basic operation is deletion. If you want to delete a node, then first you have to search the node which you want to delete, and you will perform delete operation. Okay. Then searching. If you want to search a node, then searching operation is performed. Then the next operation are basic operation are updating. When you want to modify any data value of a particular node, updation operation is performed. Sorting. Suppose in your linked list number of nodes are there, and all the nodes consist of number of values. If you want to arrange the nodes in a particular order, then sorting operation is performed. Then merging. Suppose you have two different linked lists and you want to merge those lists, so merging operation are used. If you want to know in detail, then you may refer to our data structure class. Now we will discuss little bit in detail about insertion and deletion operation here. In order to perform insertion operation, the first step is we have to create a node using the same structure, and the next step is we will find the location where it has to be inserted. After doing these two operations, here I have represented one diagrammatic way of insertion. Suppose the linked list consists of only two nodes, or the first node and the last node, and let the first node is called as A and let the last node is called as B. In this diagram, it is clearly visible that the first node is represented with head and the last node next part contains null. When we want to insert the new node which is B in between A and C, the diagrammatic representation will be like this. What? Here the first node next part will contain the address of the new node, and the new node next part will contain the address of last node. It means that B will be inserted in between A and C. Now we will talk about deletion operation. In the deletion operation, the same process. The first we have to locate the target node to be removed by using searching algorithm, and after getting the target node we will perform deletion operation. Okay, here I have represented the deletion in a diagrammatic way. Here the linked list consists of only three nodes. The first node is represented as head and the last node address part contains null value. And let we assume that we want to delete the middle node. So here the middle node is the target node. Okay. So what we will do here? The left or previous node of the target node now should point to the next node of the target node. Okay. It means that the first node address part must now contain the address of the last node. In this way, we can perform the delete operation. Now we will discuss about the advantages of linked list. The first one is they are dynamic in nature, and that's why it allocates memory when required. It means that suppose in case of array you have taken 5 memory location and you need some more during execution, that is not possible, and this problem is easily avoidable in case of linked list, because when required during runtime we can allocate memory as it implements dynamic memory allocation, and in this way it avoids the drawback of array which are insufficient memory location or wastage of memory location. For example, suppose you have taken one array of 5 memory location, and during execution you need to input some more value which is not possible. Suppose during execution you will input only 2 value in array, then it leads to wastage of memory, and these two are totally avoided in case of linked list because of dynamic memory allocation. And the second advantage is that insertion and deletion operation are very easily implemented, which is very difficult in case of array. Okay. Stack and queues can easily executed. Okay, we know that stack and queues are the abstract data type, and to implement operation on stack and queue or to perform operation on stack and queue, we need either the help of array or linked list, static implementation or dynamic implementation. And because as linked list implements dynamic memory allocation, that's why stack and queue can easily be executed. Then the next one is linked list reduces access time, obviously because of its dynamic allocation of memory. Now we will discuss application of linked list. The first one is linked list are used to implement stack, queues, graph, etc. Already we have discussed about stack and queue, and regarding graph we will discuss in the next class. But still, if you need in detail, then you may refer to our data structure class of YouTube channel, because here only I am giving the introductory part. Graph is a very popular and powerful data structure, and it is popularly used by a programmer in number of application, and it is also an abstract data type. And in order to implement stack, queue, graph, etc., linked list is used. And the next application is that linked list allows the programmer to insert element at the beginning and end of the list. Okay, which is very interesting one. Suppose you have an array and of 10 location, and you want to insert at 11th position, then it is not possible. Then the next one is in linked list we don't need to know the size in advance. Here we have discussed introduction to linked list. In this class we have covered what is the meaning of linked list, what is the meaning of node, what is the structural representation of linked list, what are the advantages of linked list, what are the application of linked list, etc. Also we have discussed about the different types of linked list. Those are singly, doubly and circular. And if we will consider about the advantages of linked list, then we may say that it is having number of advantages over array because of its dynamic memory allocation nature. It is very effective for implementation of stack, queue, tree, graph, etc. Because of those cannot be implemented because those are abstract data type, and either by using array we can implement or by using linked list we can implement. Okay, in this way, in this session we have covered the introductory part. If you want to know in detail, already I have told that you may refer to our data structure class of our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time.